Hello everyone, Chris T, NS Horse at SD70 here, and today we'll be looking at Run 8's Southern Pacific C50-9 Caboose Pack, one of two caboose offerings from the Run 8 team. Their pack includes 3 SP wide vision bay window cabooses in 3 different schemes: their standard brown and orange, the Kodachrome Scheme of the failed Southern Pacific Santa Fe merger, and a unique SP Railroad Police scheme. Let's go ahead and take a look at these. Southern Pacific had a wide variety of steel cabooses, and the Run 8 team chose to go with their C50-9 model. The SP had 75 C50-9s delivered in 1980 by Pacific Car and Foundry, and were the last cabooses delivered to the road. Within the next 5 years, most major North American railroads would begin phasing out cabooses in favor of end-of-train telemetry devices. This would save money on maintenance costs and payroll with the reduction of the workforce, since brakemen and firemen were no longer necessary. First up is the standard Southern Pacific paint scheme. All 3 cabooses share the same body style, but there will be some external differences between them that we'll look at when the time comes. This version is painted in the standard SP brown with orange ends. Right off the bat, you'll notice some light weathering and road grime down along the bottom of the car. There's also legible stenciling and lube plate information as well. As you can see here, the ends of the car are orange, as is the end of the bay window on the side of the caboose. You can also see the reflective stripes toward the bottom of the bay window. You may also notice a handbrake wheel at each end of the car. This is prototypical for the C50-9. There is some nice underframe and truck detail work on these. These feature the axle-driven generators used on cabooses across the country. The rotation of the wheels would power a generator to produce electricity for the car's lights and other accessories. Upon doing some research, the SP painted theirs blue, as is modeled here. The model also has new truck side frames with leaf springs, and you can also see the battery box doors mounted underneath the middle of the cab. The roof of this model also offers some nice details. You've got the smokestack for the stove, which actually connects to the stovepipe inside of the cab. There's the bug eye marker light that will illuminate if the proper end of the caboose is at the end of a train, meaning both sides of it will light up. And you've got the antenna for radio communications. Next, we'll look at the Kodachrome Scheme. This paint scheme was the product of a proposed merger between the Southern Pacific and Santa Fe in the 1980s. It was dubbed the Kodachrome Scheme due to its colors matching those of Kodak's famous film boxes of the 70s and 80s. The management of both sides were so confident the Interstate Commerce Commission would approve the merger, they came up with a paint scheme and began applying it to locomotives and cabooses, and even one boxcar got a promotional paint job. The idea was that the Southern Pacific and Santa Fe would paint their engines and cabooses like this pictured here, and the other road's initials would be added when the merger was approved. So, in theory, the SF would be added to the right of the SP later down the road. Long story short, the ICC denied the merger on the grounds that it would create a monopoly. The SP-SF initials then became a running joke for meaning shouldn't paint so fast. 96 Southern Pacific locomotives and 1 caboose received this scheme, the one being the SP 4726 modeled here. The body details are the same with only the paint changing, but there are some slight differences with the lettering. The change in paint brings a little more noticeable weathering, including a very dirty battery box. The lube plate information is now under the bay window, and the model designation has moved down along the frame. Also, the ownership agreement stencil has moved way up on the upper left side of the car body. The orange ends have turned yellow, as have the stairwells and handrails. The Kodachrome Scheme is one of my all-time favorites, and it's well represented here within Run 8. Now we'll move on to the final paint job, the Southern Pacific Railroad Police Scheme. In the 1980s, the Southern Pacific came up with the idea of having a railroad police caboose on the rear of trains to deter vandalism and theft. SP's own police officers and special agents would ride in the caboose and sometimes in their own police vehicles alongside the train. At least 3 C50-9s were to have been confirmed as painted for the SP Police Department, but there may have been others. This particular one is modeled after SP 4709, which was equipped with AC units and spotlights. Let's take a look at some of the unique details on this version. The biggest actual differences between this version and the original and Kodachrome versions would be these 2 air conditioner units on the roof and the spotlights mounted over the bay windows. As far as I know, they do not light up. The stenciling is pretty much in the same location as the standard brown version. The entire caboose is white with railroad police lettering and features the department shield under the bay window. You've also got black safety striping and watch your step lettering in the stairwells. All 3 of these models feature nice paint and individual details. Now let's take a look at the interiors and other features of these cabs. For starters, you can stand in all 4 stairwells and both end platforms, as well as walk across them from side to side. Inside the caboose, you can sit in both chairs inside the bay window, giving you a nice view down along your train.
Hey, yo.
You can also walk the length of the caboose from door to door. The interior has a lot of great details you'd find in an 80s caboose. The interior is painted seafoam green and features all the well-worn scuff marks and dirt of a road caboose. On this end of the car, you can see a row of seats that look out one end of the windows, as well as a bunk for a crew member to lie down. I haven't been able to determine if that door on the right goes to a locker or is the bathroom. I suspect it's the bathroom because outside on the end of the car is a water fill hatch. The middle features the two bay windows and their accompanying seats. The radio and handset are mounted on the half wall behind the left-hand seat. And up on the right-hand side near the ceiling might be the coolest feature of the entire model, the brake gauge. As we'll demonstrate shortly, this gauge will respond to brake pipe pressure changes that are made on the lead locomotive. Unfortunately, the emergency brake valve doesn't work. This is a demonstration of the caboose's brake gauge. We're going to be following along with the equalizing reservoir, that's the ER, up on the heads-up display. As you can see, it's set to 90 pounds. That's a release. We're going to go ahead and make a 10-pound reduction on the brake pipe. You can see the needle moves and follows along. We'll go further to a full service application, and then we'll go back to release. And it will also indicate an emergency application with 0. Moving to the opposite end of the car, we see another seat, the refrigerator, first aid kit, and the fire extinguisher. Also, there are two doors which are either bathrooms or lockers. I'm still not sure. Just ahead of them, we have the conductor's desk and chair with a little libation stashed away behind it. The railroad in the 80s was a different place, that's for sure. At night, more details emerge. In addition to the marker light, which we'll show again for effect, the interior lights will be on when the caboose is within a train. Also, the stove emits a red and orange glow. These details really make the inside of these cabs stand out in the dark. And that will wrap up our review of the Southern Pacific C50-9 Caboose. 3 unique models for those of you running an SP operation in Run 8, or who just like cabooses in general. You can pick these up at run8studios.com/trainsets for $15. Scroll on down in the middle of the page on the left, you'll find the link to make a purchase. A little more expensive than some freight car packs, but you're getting some nice features and details with these. Our next review will be Run 8's other caboose pack, the ATSF CE11 Cupola Caboose. As always, thanks for watching and take care, everyone.